good time zone, and a happy birthday to all of those around the world. We're finally here with Honkai 3.2. It's also part of, I believe, the 2nd anniversary. I believe they're giving out some free characters and things like that. Hopefully we haven't missed too much, but probably not. So we're just gonna get in. You know, we're a week behind, so things to do, things to discuss. In fact, I just remembered something that I wanted to discuss. At least I remember that there was something I wanted to discuss. I'll have to find it again. It was in a book. We have to, if I can't find it immediately, we'll have to, I'll probably try and find it off stream, and then we can talk about it another time. Bam. Getting a... Wow. Go to warp, huh? They're like, hey, you really should pull for this character. Hey. No, thanks, actually. No, thanks. Watch later. Watch that recap later. Please pull for this character. Please, we're begging you. I won't, because I have principles. So many things. I wonder if they did that, if they're gonna do that from now on. And they've updated some of the icons, it looks like. You can now select limited 5-star characters Sela, Blade, and Fu Xuan to add to the Celestial Invitation character list. Cool. Yeah, sure, whatever. That actually does remind me, I believe... Yeah, I had pulled, I'd pulled on the main warp at some point, and I got a second Bronya Eidolon. Or, yeah, well, technically my first Eidolon, second Bronya. And Japard. At the same time. One of them was, I don't remember which one is the free choice. I think I got Japard and then I chose Bronya or something like that, but I have Japard now. I won't use them, but there you go. Tribby is pretty well upgraded, kind of. I've been trying to farm relics. I didn't farm last week because I didn't want to start the game yet, but the game just still refuses to give me good relics at all. What's in the store? Too many things. Character redemption. Light cone redemption. These are new. Redeemable after obtaining a duplicate 5-star character with maxed Eidolons. Oh. That makes sense. I never really thought about what happened. I've never had that happen, so I've never thought about it. Cherished collection. I don't know what this is. Accumulate on Iric shards to unlock rewards. On Iric shards. I don't know. Buy them? Maybe. Dynamic name card, phone wallpaper, phone case. There's phone cases now? There's phone cases now for the Trailblazer. Fair enough. They've changed the login screen. Passenger. I'm sure to fly. It's already about to be the 2nd anniversary from Time Express. Back on tracks. Special days must have special blessings. Which companion's blessing would you like to receive? Firefly, I guess. Definitely not Black Swan. I don't trust that person. I don't trust her at all. The conductor, sure they'll answer. That'd be really awkward if they didn't. Travelers can select a character to invite them from the menu. You can also change the selected character during this period. Once you go past this period, you cannot change or edit them. Okay. After 11 days and 11 hours. Okay. Super sale. Now they're really advertising buy stuff. What is this? Oh, that opened up a web page. Okay. I assume this does too? No. Oh, here's the normal screen. Okay. The actual express. Is this an event? This is an event. Okay. An anniversary event. With a Owlbert and Pom Pom light cone. Truly, we are blessed. Another event. Trailblaze missions. Aptitude showcase. do that in a second. Stellar Companions. After claiming this, you can exchange for a 5-star character such as Locha or Ron May. Okay. So this is actually different. I thought I had saw that it would only be Locha or Ron May you could choose. And of those two, I was going to choose Ron May. Even though I don't like her, she is useful for my teams. And I guess I would still choose her. Although, if I could choose another Bronya, that might be good. I don't know. I'll have to think about that now. Shall we do Aptitude Showcase on Castoris and talk about why Castoris is extremely controversial? And why it's funny that they throw in your face that you should pull for her right when you start the game. Ah, it's right there. Immediately. Can block 1 instance of Killing Blow for allies. Effective even when not in the team. And this is why people were a bit up in arms. I don't know what people think now, but before she was released, the issue is that she has a universal buff that just for owning her, you don't even have to use her. Just for owning her, you get a buff on all your characters, anywhere, everywhere. In this case, it is a free revive. But people are worried about what that means for the future. If they're just going to be... Because it kind of makes these characters, in a sense, mandatory and extremely overpowered. If they just give you free buffs for everything, even if they're not on your team. And I tend to agree that it is a pretty slippery slope. Summons Netherwing. She is a Remembrance character. Summons Netherwing in battle as a tank for the team. Attacks consume HP. The more HP consumed, the higher damage. It also lets you see the other characters on your team for this now. That's cool. So, consumes all allies' HP, deals quantum damage to one enemy and minor quantum damage to adjacent. Consumes all allies' HP. Castoris and Netherwing launch a joint attack on the targets, dealing damage to all enemies. Summons a Memo Sprite, Netherwing, and advances its action by 100% at the same time. Deploys a territory that decreases all type resistance on all enemies. It's pretty good. Talent. When an ally loses HP, Castoris gains New Bud. It increases Castoris and Netherwing's damage dealt. When New Bud reaches its maximum limit, can activate the ultimate while Netherwing is on the field. HP lost by allies except for Netherwing will be converted to an equal amount of HP for Netherwing. So not only does she have her talent has the exclusive universal buff, but also her talent just has another thing entirely. So she's got 2 talents effectively. Okay. And then yes, after obtaining Castoris, or when Castoris is in the current team, I guess if you don't have her but you're borrowing her, receive the following effect. In battle, when an ally character receives a killing blow, all allied characters that received a killing blow in this action enter into the Moon Cocoon state. This delays becoming downed and allows normal actions after the action and before the start of the next turn. If the current HP increases or a shield is gained, Moon Cocoon is removed. This effect can only trigger once per battle. Enters her technique enters the Nether Veil state. Enemies are unable to actively approach Caster Reese. Ah, it's her whole thing. Can't touch her. During Nether Veil attacks will cause all enemies within range to enter combat at the same time. Summons the Memo Sprite Nether Ring, advances its action by 100% upon entering battle, consumes HP of all allies. If Nether Ring is not summoned after entering battle, Caster Reese gains a new bud by an equal amount of 30% of max new bud. So she normally can only summon her Memo Sprite with the ultimate, but her technique will do that too. Memo Sprite attacks all enemies, consumes HP to attack all enemies. When using this ability repeatedly, the ability can be enhanced up to 3 times when HP is 25% or lower. Using this ability will actively trigger the ability effect of Wings Sweep the Ruins. When Netherwing is on the field, it acts as a backup for allies. Allies' current HP can be reduced down to a minimum of 1, after which Netherwing will bear the damage received or the HP consumed. Oh, that's really interesting. That's super tanky. When summoned, increases the damage dealt by all allies. Upon disappearing, deals quantum damage to one enemy that bounces a total of 6 times. At the same time, restores HP for all allies. Wow. It really is powerful, though. Allies literally can't die as long as Netherwing exists. Also, Netherwing gives them an attack buff. Also, will restore HP of all allies. And attacks all enemies. Also, if allies do somehow die, they'll be revived. Also, the ultimate decreases type resistance for all enemies on all types. She might be the most overpowered character in the overpowered character list. I didn't even know what she did outside of that.
Emerge from your cocoon.
I only knew about her talent controversy. Use Memo Sprite's skill to summon or consume Netherwing's HP to blast all enemies. Netherwing can blast continuously, getting stronger the longer it blasts. When Netherwing's HP is below 25%, it can continue blasting and trigger self-destruct to damage all enemies.
May death protect us!
After Caster Reese uses her technique, she can continuously daze enemies in her path. Use the technique to again will attack enemies in the radius. What the heck, Caster Reese?
Be careful. There's something.
Why didn't you fight any time with all of this?
Receive divinity.
May death protect us! It's coming. I don't know what's playing. Let me go!
You chose the wrong enemy.
I get why her Memo Sprite is only summoned on ultimate, but also it's summoned on technique, so it's pretty much free like other Memo Sprites.
Eternal sleep. The dead return!
Life is is not so fragile. Root here. Watch closely. Mimi. Is it coming? Are you the West Wind? Away we go! Please cherish this time. Embrace a new life. Return to dust.
Kind of insane. Kind of an insane character. Win-win battle using a team that contains both Casteris and the Trailblazer. Netherrealm butterflies dancing together. Defeat a total of 30 enemies using a Memo Sprite skill damage. Yeah, we'll see what the future holds. The other character, I don't know if any other character yet so far has been announced to have universal talents. So we'll see if that becomes the mainstay or if Casteris is just going to be crazy for a while. Can't help but notice that there is a 50 out of 51. They added a Herda book, apparently. All right. And 15 more books now. The question is, what thing did I read that I was like, oh, this is something to talk about? I'll have to go through them and see. Was it Beyond the Veil? I don't know. Something to do with, you know, Amphoreans, true nature. I think it had to do with the sky, maybe? I don't remember now. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try and find that for time. View story recap? Sure. thought they were gonna play actually something, not just this. I could give a recap like this. Phainon failed the trial to become the demigod of Nikador, so of course Mighty Most took his place and succeeded. And decided that he's not going to become king of Krymnos or anything. He's just going to take Krymnos by himself and go fight the Black Tide. And the Krymoans are going to have to stay in Akuma to integrate. And his old teacher, Kratos, wasn't happy about that. And then we went to the Grove of Epiphany, where Circes and Amnestia, who's not longer there, but Circes hung out. Only to find that within the short time on our journey, pretty much, it was overrun by the Black Tide and everyone died. Except for Anaxagoras, who has been implanted with Circes. Not the core flame of Circes, just Circes themselves. And there's also a mysterious sword master, the Flame Reaver or something, who attacked us as a minion of the Black Tide, who's trying to go around and kill all the Titans as well. Triby, Tryon, and Trinon went to go see Orynyx. As one of the few last remaining Titans. But somehow the Swordmaster was there as well. And kills Tryon and Orynyx. So that sucks. We learn more about Triby as Tribios, her original form, before she took core flame of Yanis and escaped Yanisopolis. Her mother was the Holy Maiden who was killed, and then she was raised, groomed as the Holy Maiden. It didn't really talk about it, but we also fought the Flame Reaver a second time and took back the
Need something?
core flame of Orynyx.
If not, then I'll be leaving.
The Flame Reavers may be dead, but I don't think so. Also, we for some strange reason volunteered to try and become the holder of the core flame of Orynyx that I really hope we don't do at all, but we'll see what happens. Tribios' memory has unveiled the very first prophecy. All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle, such is the fate, or the will of fate. Only one shall live till the end, and they alone will witness Era Nova. Oh yeah, that was also part of the prophecy, that only one person is going to actually survive all of this, apparently. I don't know why that's useful. If everyone's dead except for one person, then what's the point of saving the world exactly? Unless it's just one of like the Chrysos heirs, but like normal people still live. If I take on Oryx's trial, will the prophecy come to pass for me as well? Regardless, I must give Aglaya an answer. Some time ago.
Ah, it's you, Cass. I finished the anthology of poems you lent me. Here it is.
I thought you'd be too preoccupied to find time for reading.
Precisely because of these obligations, I felt compelled to read it swiftly.
Wouldn't all these preoccupations slow your pace?
On the contrary, knowing that time is limited can push one to overcome their limitations. The weight of these responsibilities seems to have enhanced my reading efficiency.
I understand completely. During my time at the Grove, the closer exams drew, the more efficient I became at tackling everyday mundane tasks. Anything but my actual studies.
Precisely. As I remember, you and Phainon were both disciples of the new Sporists. I assume that Anaxa's exams are as unreasonable as the man himself, correct?
The courses Professor Anaxa taught were Introduction to Alchemy and History of Mythology. And to be perfectly honest, those two courses were the students' greatest nightmares.
The History of Mythology, taught by the blasphemous great performer himself. I can imagine their fear.
Now that I think about it, students would often rush to the podium during class to challenge him on those blasphemous ideas. May I ask, Lady Aglaya, has your relationship with Professor Anaxa always been like this?
He openly dismisses people's faith and questions the very justification of the Flame Chase journey. Our positions have been destined to be at odds. While you were studying there, I assume you must have heard of his nickname.
A Dromus draped in finery?
As I see it, this nickname is more of an insult to the Dromas. Despite his insufferable arrogance, I do hold a certain respect for his nature as a scholar. To remain true to his principles, he is unafraid to stand opposed to the world, and that requires considerable resolve. Anaxagoras' life is almost like a satire. As a Chrysos heir, he refuses to heed the prophecy, while he disrespects the gods.
The gods have chosen him.
He was indeed chosen by Circes. Is something weighing on you, Cass? The golden thread is quivering. I sense there's more to this exchange than idle chatter.
With all due respect, I'd like to know what you plan to do with him.
In light of his assistance in the battle against the Flame Reaver, I am willing to grant him some time to find a way to remove the core flame. However, if Anaxa decides to make any move that places us in danger, I will not hesitate to take extreme measures.
If Circes chose him, why does he need to remove it?
Just as I feared.
The Flame Chase journey is the destined path for the Chrysos heirs. Yet he now seems more like an empty shell. Given his strong sense of self-respect, I trust that Anaxagoras will make the right decision.
Still, I can't help but hope for another possibility. Perhaps Anaxa will also overcome his limitations, now that he knows time is limited.
I understand your stance. Let's continue this discussion another time. But now, let's greet our guest. You're here. Does this mean you're ready to take on Orynyx's trial?
No. I'm still on the fence about becoming the protagonist.
I understand. It was the sacred beast's idea, after all. However, it warrants careful consideration, given their intricate ties to the Titan.
Haha, thanks to you, I've evolved from a lapdog into a sacred beast. Didn't you learn to talk?
Surrendering the core flame is a Chrysos heir's duty. Your selfless assistance is deeply appreciated.
I'm not a Chrysos heir.
However, I urge you to carefully consider the risks of accepting the trial. Becoming a demigod means forsaking your humanity. You will inherit Orynyx's divinity and bear the time of Amphoreans, all on your own. From that point onward, your fate will be forever intertwined with ours, never to be separated again, until the end of Genesis.
Is there a plan B, like, you know, the actual Chrysos heir of time?
It's exceedingly rare to find a capable Chrysos heir. If this path proves unattainable, I am willing to lower my expectations. There are still many priests of Yanissopolis and their descendants in the city. If I'm left with no other option, I'll try to find someone worthy among them.
Alright, that's it. I'm out. Don't give up now. We've come so far.
Hero.
And in the end, it doesn't even matter. And everyone's counting on you to be the hero. As for the trial, you have nothing to fear. The Time Titan may be willful at times, but they never caused us any harm. Myth has it that Orynyx opposes mortals, but to me they just seem a bit timid, like a child.
It looks like you know that Titan rather well.
Oddly enough, I don't remember ever meeting them, but at the moment I saw this guy, Orynyx's memories were already in my head.
Memories that exist outside of your own experiences.
I can't explain why, but I can vouch for Mem's words. When I was in the abyss, I heard the Titan's groans, full of pain and grievances, yet without any ill will.
Do I even have a say in this? You're trying to make me a demigod, but you're not giving me the chance to say anything?
Please,
Please trust me on this, at the very least. Can you speak to them in person? That's a no, I don't have a say. I get the feeling that if we don't meet Orynyx, we'll be missing out on something huge.
Huge.
Looks like, but thou must.
Since you've made your decision, go back to the bath chamber and get some rest. Trinem will call for you when the ceremony is ready.
Don't you dare say since you made your decision. More like since you agreed to our decision. Go back to the bath chamber and rest. Trinon will call you for when the ceremony is ready.
It is difficult for me, as the guide, to absolve myself from blame for things to have progressed to this point. Time and again, you have risen to the occasion for Akima. Nearly rewarding you with some honeydew is no longer able to express the extent of our gratitude.
Written in the prophecy. I don't think it's... We're not part of the prophecy. We're from outside this world. The simulation hasn't accounted for our existence.
When the dust settles, I hope that we'll have the chance to have a long chat regarding your return journey and the curse of the sky. It's about time that we lift the taboo and discuss things openly.
Before leaving, I should go and say hi to Castoris.
Take a look.
Whoops.
This is pure genius in action.
Hi, Castories.
Mister, may everything go well for you and Mem.
You need a Goliath or something too?
It's nothing. I only came to discuss some matters with Lady Aglaia. Previously, I lent her an anthology of poems that Lady Trianne had gifted to me. Tracing back, this anthology was something left for Lady Trianne by a bard before their passing. Although personal properties should be cleared out once their owner has passed on, Lady Trianne gave this book to me since she knew how much I like to read.
Tell me more.
It just contains an allegory. In a faraway land, in a city known as Styxia, a dragon corrupted by the Black Tide descended one day, swooping upon the city like death itself. It swallowed the princess of the city whole before it was suppressed. After taking down the evil dragon, the warriors discovered that the princess's life had already met its end. Overwhelmed by grief, the queen hired an alchemist to resurrect the princess using the dragon's flesh and blood. However, having lost memories of her previous life, the resurrected princess turned into an evil dragon herself and wreaked havoc on the city. As a result, the prosperous Styxia met its demise.
What a touching story. What a dark story, I guess. It must have been easy for Cass to narrate this story so calmly.
The author of this book is Archepia, a wandering bard who traveled to many cities. Among the things she left behind are poems, dictionaries, and many tragicomedy scripts. She even clearly underlined and took notes in books that covered myths with her elegant handwriting. While flipping through these books, I felt like I was afforded a glimpse into the life of Archepia. It felt just like I was traveling with someone that I'd never met before. It was as if she had yet to pass on and was still alive.
She probably didn't think much of it while writing. She's really punched down on Castories right now.
That's right. Writing, drawing, and taking photographs. It seems like human nature to try and leave records of things. Speaking of taking photographs, when I was helping you to take the photo previously, I did not look through the photos in your photo stone out of courtesy. But I'm also very curious about the story of the Rosy Celestial Maiden.
Ah, of course.
Despite having visited many cities in Amphoreans, I still understand nothing about the world beyond the sky. If there is an opportunity... forget it. Let's talk about this in the future. For now, I only hope that you'll be able to complete the trial safely and obtain Orynyx's blessing.
I don't think there's anything else to do here. Hopefully we'll go into the trial and Orynyx will be like, ha, no, this isn't for the core flame. Get out of here. Instead, I'm just going to tell you something important. There's a guy washing a Dromus back there, which is cool. You can't even see it unless you look when you're on the elevator. It's a nice touch.
Have you heard? Seems like all the rooms are full. I'd love to go in and take a look.
Oh, hi, Finon. Okay, Don Hong still doesn't have a voice. Citizens Assembly.
That's right. Oh, partner, you're back just in time. This is something that the both of you should probably know.
More trouble?
I wouldn't call it trouble. I just think it will be favorable if the both of you understand the situation in Akima better.
Do you remember the Council of Elders that was on our heels previously? It seems they've made their move.
Some background information for you. The Council of Elders is an authoritative body in Amphoreans, made up of different city representatives. They hold legislative power over the Holy City, and are in charge of presiding over the Citizens' Assembly held once every few years. This is the most important social event of Akima. It is highly influential, and can even affect what happens to the Flame Chase journey.
So Aglaya doesn't actually call the shots?
Despite her vision and wisdom that spans across thousands of years, even she cannot win over the hearts of everyone.
I never once passed my sociology class. We didn't have a sociology class. Perhaps you should retake some exams next time we visit Paperfold University. Tell me about this assembly.
Every 5 to 10 years, the Council of Elders organizes a Citizens' Assembly at Dawncloud. During the assembly, the representatives will vote on major issues, such as whether the Chrysos heirs led by Aglaya should still hold the right to govern the Holy City, and whether the Titan's conquest should continue.
It sounds like some sort of system to balance the heroes and the mortals.
That is correct. However, the problem lies in the fact that there are ill-intentioned extremists in the Council of Elders. They view the Citizens' Assembly as a way to restrain the Chrysos heirs, and hope to take complete control over the Flame Chase journey. We can refer to them as the Opposition. During the assemblies held in the past 100 years, the voices supporting the Opposition have been growing stronger in the shadows. It's only thanks to Aglaya that the Flame Chase journey has been able to continue to this day. The Citizens' Assembly is just around the corner, but this time, there seems to be a new variable to the situation.
Is it us? No, although we might be mentioned, the Council of Elders has another target in mind.
I'm afraid that the Council of
Anaxagoras.
Elders might want to take advantage of Professor Anaxa. Aglaya will surely take back Circe's core flame, but with Anaxa's current condition, it's so unique that nobody knows how taking the core flame away from him will affect him.
Maybe don't take it away.
He has always been someone that is only concerned about his own research. I'm certain that he must want to escape from the monitoring of the Golden Thread and protect himself. If the Opposition were to offer an olive branch at this time.
You suspect he might betray the Flame Chase journey and defect toward the Council of Elders.
Anaxa has never believed in the prophecy, so technically it cannot be considered a betrayal. However, he has taught many Chrysos heirs, and has long been considered an important ally of Akima. I truly do not wish to see comrades turning on one another.
Yeah, but he also can talk to Circe now. So maybe he will realize some truths of the world. I have a better understanding of the full picture now. Is there anything that we can do?
As I believe in his character, I plan to plead with Aglaya and try to buy more time for him. Then, the greatest way in which you can help is for you to know what I am fighting for.
We understand. Thank you for being honest with us. Things are piling up again. You and Mim are tied up with Onyx's trial, and while I'm preparing to visit the Grove to uncover clues about the world beyond the sky. You are? But we're from beyond the sky. What? Let's just take things one step at a time.
Allow me to apologize for the fact that we always seem to be troubling you. I hope that Onyx will show more benevolence and be more accommodating. I remember that they seemed quite fond of you back in the Abyss. Go and rest and regain your strength. We'll meet at the Vortex in a few days. Oh, right. You can read this scroll if you want to find out more about the Council of Elders and the Citizens' Assembly.
Oh boy. A study of the Citizens' Assembly. Democratic politics has always fascinated citizens of different city-states and Amphoreans. When Akama was first established, its democracy was limited to a privileged minority. However, through ongoing reforms, the Akaman Citizens' Assembly took to the stage, transforming Akama's governance into a democracy for all, where the Citizens' Assembly made every major decision. It's important to note that as the Black Tide draws near and citizens from other city-states join Akama's political life, the precious rights of Akama's original citizens are becoming increasingly diluted. Consequently, voices calling for reforms of the Akaman Citizens' Assembly system grew ever louder. Democracy is only one of the consequences of civilization's development rather than the cause of development. For democracy to be productive, it must appoint different rules for different societies, situations, and issues. No single rule can be optimal for all scenarios. In other words, Akama's Citizens' Assembly system will continue to evolve as this book is written. Due to time limitations, this publication focuses only on the current Citizen Assembly, not its future developments. Readers should bear this limitation in mind. Citizenship and citizenship policies of Akama. Before examining the Akaman Citizens' Assembly's operational mechanisms and core functions in depth, we must first address the matter of citizenship rights and citizenship policies of Akama. The elders have once noted that Akama is a collective of free citizens. Due to the substantial power citizens possess, citizenship qualifications must be strictly regulated to ensure citizens' rights. Discussions on the recognition of naturalized citizens' rights were once the foci of disputations between the leader of the Crisis Heir and the Council of Elders. As more Amphorean city-states fell over time, and as the Black Tide drew closer, citizenship rights reforms became imperative. Judging from the final outcome, citizens from all city-states have equal citizenship rights in the Holy City, and can have equal participation in public matters. While social differences naturally exist between rich and poor locals and travelers, the Holy City of Akama would not allow these social distinctions to become political divisions and will ensure complete political equality among all citizens. Continued. Operational mechanisms of the Citizens' Assembly. Also, it should just be noted that, like, except for all those people who live in the slums and aren't allowed to participate. Bearing emergencies, Akama's Citizens' Assembly follows strict protocols when it is called. The current Council of Elders, a governmental entity made of representatives of the city-state, posts the upcoming assembly agenda and venue, usually Dawn Cloud in the Holy City, at the Wall of Heroes before each meeting. Usually topics are posted by the Council of Elders members before the assembly and become official assembly items after receiving majority council approval. The council predetermines which matters to address and when. Once confirmed, the council chairman hands over the agenda to the Council of Elders, assembly chair who presides over the meeting. Normally, matters cannot be discussed at the Citizens' Assembly without prior council review. Council-reviewed matters yield only two outcomes. Either they've already thoroughly discussed and only need citizen votes, or they require citizens to hold debates to reach final resolutions during the assembly. Results are tallied using pottery shards blessed with Kefali's runes, with voting dolia placed throughout Akama during assemblies. After thorough discussion and voting of all proposals, the Council of Elders posts approved decrees at the Wall of Heroes. Continued. Core functions of the Citizens' Assembly. The Assembly wields the important capacities of legislative power and appointment of government officials, declaring war, conceding peace, and the actual control of armies during wartime. Yet, historically and practically, Akama's Citizens' Assembly isn't fully controlled and directed by citizens, but rather a means to ensure that elites who represent the majority social interests can effectively manage social matters. In other words, the current system where the leader, the Crisis Heir, and the Council of Elders jointly manage Akama was decided by the Akaman Citizens' Assembly. Citizen influence policy makers through voting and other means of political participation rather than directly managing social affairs or making political decisions. Appendix. Principal members of the Council of Elders. The Council of Elders is a governmental organization consisting of representatives from Amphoreans' city-states. While most are elected by their city-states, some receive a direct invitation from current Council of Elder members. Authorized by the Citizens' Assembly, they manage various practical affairs within Akama. The most renowned honorary leader is Lycurgus, an anti-Kitharan, a race that was already nearly extinct before the Christos Heir. He had communicated directly with Kefali multiple times during the Era Chrysia and passed the wishes of mortals to Kefali, showing himself as a true Theros. Lycurgus's neutrality is all well noted, which explains his frequent selection as the Citizens' Assembly chair. Significantly, Elder Kindness has shown great effectiveness in Akama's governance and gathered many followers. Many believe Kindness will leverage accumulated resources to challenge the current situation where the Crisis Heirs hold real authority and transform Akama's political structure. Rest for the night. What do you say, Don Hong? It's just as I expected. The troubles afflicting the journey aren't just external issues. The complex internal politics and interpersonal relationships are also exacerbating the problem. We can't let our guards down. We have to find out where we stand in this large interwoven web. The trial feels like it's just around the corner. I'm starting to feel nervous. Feels like a sitting duck that's been thrown into the deep end. Speaking of which, I don't recall seeing any rubber duck toys in the Baths of Akama. It seems like they only have these seals. Let's just hope that everything goes well. After all, as someone who has earned the gaze of an Eon, you should be able to overcome the trial of a regional god just fine. We've also unknowingly gotten used to sleeping with the midday sun shining brightly above our heads. Get some rest. Perhaps a new phase of our trailblazing expedition in Amphoreans is about to begin. A few days later, at the Vortex of Genesis.
Esteemed one, Orynyx's vacant totem awaits. If you have already made your preparations to become a pillar of Amphoreans, please, step forward.
Little Gray and Mem, thank you. Your resolves cannot be questioned. We praise your pure selflessness and courage. May Kefali light your path forward.
Get ready to assume Orynyx's divinity, Trailblazer.
The divine position of Orynyx has already been vacant for some time. We can feel the space of the trial closing. As there isn't much of their soul left, we'll have to complete the ceremony before their soul completely dissipates.
All right.
The eighth core flame coveted by the miracle that once belonged to the great Veil of Evernight, Orynyx. It shall now be returned by the two elected heroes of the Chrysoseirs. A traveler who is upright and courageous, and a sacred beast that invokes miracles.
Who? Mem.
It's also who for me, not that. Oh, I see. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough, Mem.
Both of you, please, come forward. Recite along with us. O Majesty of the 12 Titans, pillars of the world, we seek your divinity to mend the rifts of the world. Fill our bodies with blood of gold, till we wither in willing service to the prophecy.
I don't think I have gold blood.
These are just words meant to make the prayer seem more solemn. Please, focus. And surrender the core flame.
Click and hold to submit the core flame and complete your objective.
Orynyx. Their soul has been waiting for a long time.
Perhaps they're also quietly waiting for the arrival of their successor.
I love you all too. Weird. I guess wait for my return.
The last time I heard this, things didn't turn out that well.
He's standing right there, Aglaya.
Don't worry, Aglaya. He's tougher than I am, right?
I mean, obviously. Let's go.
Traveler from beyond the sky, let us pray that the Titan acknowledges your worthiness.
Although he loves cracking jokes at inopportune times, his determination is as strong as the Chrysoseirs. He will definitely succeed.
Again, assuming I literally can succeed. Assuming that's how this all works.
While he's away, I would like to have a chat with you, Aglaya.
Speak. I'm listening.
Slap, slap! Wake up!
They can talk now.
How is it? How do you feel?
How are you able to talk?
Right? I think that it's amazing too. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. I have such a cute voice. It must be because of all the memories that I collected. They allowed me to grow beyond expectations. Also, listen. The words of the Titan are becoming clearer.
Mother. It hurts. Have I finally reached the end? Are the years of isolation coming to an end?
Oryx. Oh, how heartbreaking. Ever since the figure draped in the black cloak robbed them of their core they have been relegated to waiting in isolation in such a confined space. We are going to help alleviate their pain, right?
Memories broken. Mother, where?
Mother? Who are they calling out for?
You. It's you. I remember you.
In the mountains.
Skyfather has gazed upon you. Mother is calling for you.
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing. Is Skyfather Fuli? Because then that means Mother isn't Fuli. A Mother could be maybe the secret 13th Titan. The Titan's words are indistinct. Each syllable emerging from the mist seems to be cloaked in frost, symbolizing memory.
Skyfather has chosen you.
Who is your mother? A majestic voice pierces through the golden mist, reaching the unseen mountain walls in the distance, reflecting and returning to your ears as an echo within the echo whose simile could make out the cry of a baby.
Mother is no longer responding.
We come to you because of something important.
Something important. An important matter.
Oryx, listen to me. Aren't you tired? Throughout the long years, you have always been protecting the fate of Amphoreans. Each time people draw strength from within their memories, every single ripple falls onto your shoulders. There's no need for you to bear this any longer, Oryx.
From today onwards, someone else will bear time on your behalf. This is why we have come.
Freedom. Freedom. I want freedom.
Oh, poor child. Everything will be fine. Let us help you. You can have a good rest now.
What's troubling you, big fella?
You have potential, strength, willpower, powerful, and tenacious. But you lack something.
You don't have golden blood.
Just one thing.
Lacking something. What is it?
What you lack is a future.
Huh. That's right. I live in the moment. You will die. But everyone does. So like, what is everyone lacks a future then? Like,
Future?
Traveler from the sky. You should have dissipated already. The gaze from Sky Father stabilized your form. Because from the moment you crossed the sky, your life was cast away. Right now, you are simply a collection of walking memories.
my word, we're already dead. We've been dead the whole time. We didn't survive that crash. We died in the crash.
What? How is that possible?
Do you mean that I'm already dead?
The space is collapsing. Someone must inherit the authority of time. If the pillar is lost, the laws of time will collapse. Amphoreans will succumb to eternal disorder.
Revive me, quick! You still haven't really explained things, though.
Time never compromises, never bears grudges, never forgives, never makes a choice. Child of humanity, Titans, Mother, Sky Father. Time restrains everything that exists in this world.
Orynyx's divinity is dissipating?
Is the trial coming to an end?
Strider of remembrance, my strength, I shall entrust it to you. The fate of the world, if you wish to, save it. Go and find your future that has been stolen. Even if that means you'll have to cheat death. You'll have to challenge that. Hand of shadow, clasped with unyielding fingers.
Before the passing of 15 entry hours, go forth and reclaim your destiny. This is the true trial of time. So is that why we can touch Casteris, because we were already dead? But is Don Hung dead too? Or is Don Hung just hallucinating us this whole time? Hey you're finally awake. Got crossing the border. Well, keep it simple. You succeeded. Ornyx has entrusted you with their divinity. Now you're no different from a demigod of Amphoreans, however. He lost his voice. Oh my goodness, that makes so much sense. Mim has told me about what happened during the trial. They are still explaining things to the others and told me to bring you back to your room to rest first. Yeah, I'm dead. Not that bad. The Titan must be joking, right? There's something that I never told you. When we landed on Amphoreans, our car was pierced by Nikador's lance. I guess we're just going with that now. I guess it was Nikador. I don't know why it was Nikador, but I guess it was Nikador. Do you remember, back in the ruins of the Abyss, this is what I said. You passed out when our car got hit. I blacked out too, but not before dragging you out. It's a good thing you were in the car, or we would have been crushed to pieces. Actually, my account kind of made light of the situation. What actually happened was much more complicated. You were severely injured back then, with several wounds, still bleeding profusely. Why didn't you explain this? I struggled to carry you and used the last of my strength to stem the bleeding, but then I was also hit by a falling rock and lost my consciousness. The last time I checked, you still weren't breathing. But when I regained consciousness, I saw that you were alive and full of energy. So I never brought this up again. How exactly did I come back to life? I didn't. I'm not sure whether the gaze of Fully has anything to do with this matter, but according to the Titan, you are living in the form of a memory right now, just like those objects of the past and the miracles of Ornyx. Perhaps Mim is another anchor rope that ties you to the present. I had assumed that they couldn't stray too far from you, but in truth, the truth might be the exact opposite. Cry for me. But what if everyone here is a memory, you know? Because it's a simulation. What should we do next? It's not time for us to despair yet. There must be a way to save you. Must there be? Ornyx mentioned finding your stolen future and cheating death. Considering Mighty's indestructible body, it seems to suggest that there is some kind of miraculous power in Amphoreans that can even reverse death. The key seems to lie within the hand of Shadow, the Death Titan, whose whereabouts are unknown.
Hey, are you alright?
Oh, you can just talk now completely? Okay, cool.
I heard you two talking about Thanatos. Cass is also very concerned about the warning. She has left the vortex and returned to the garden. Shall we go and look for her? Thanatos is the Titan that Cass has always been looking for. Regardless of whether there are any clues, there's probably no one else that understands death better than her.
Let's go then.
Oh, right. There's something that I have to tell you. The Chrysosairs already know everything that has happened to you. I was too worried, so I told them everything. Please don't hate me, okay?
That's whatever. Head to the garden.
Have you heard? Seems like all the rooms are... I don't know how long...
Faith can dispel the black eye.
The thing is, like, why did we turn into memories if we died? Did Fully do that immediately?
What are you folks going to do next?
And if so, why? That's why I'm like, well, maybe everyone technically are? And that's just a thing that happens? I don't know. Probably not, but...
Mister, I'm right here.
You hear soft steps coming closer, one step at a time.
Please stay there and slowly turn around.
What are you doing? For some reason, you feel you have seen this scene before. You want to turn your head, but you glimpse a dash of purple brushing past your face, and then a chill seeps through your skin, spreading your veins. Thumping, your heartbeat begins to flow. Spin around and give Castoris a scare. I think I deserve to do this. In the blink of an eye, time seems to have frozen beneath the cold sensation, and you just happened to close your eyes.
Please pardon me.
Guess I didn't turn around. I closed my eyes. False choice? Question mark. A subtle fragrance of an unnamed flower fills your senses, its sweetness making you forget the need to breathe. That's a weird description. You realize you are still alive. No, to be more precise, your death was not thorough. The coldness of the initial touch disperses as quickly as it came, and replaces it is a touch of fingertips and a tremble born of trepidation that originated from a certain lanky arm. Her quivering finger gently brushed against your cheek, causing a faint tickle.
Just as I expected. I cannot feel anything.
So am I really dead?
Back at the Grove, I was puzzled as to why you were not affected by my curse. I thought that it might have been the special ability of a traveler from beyond the sky. Never did I expect that this would be the true reason. I'm sorry. I should have noticed that something was amiss earlier. Mister, if my abrupt behavior just now offended you, I hope that you can forgive me. I'm just thinking, if your soul has really left your body, as a mortician, I might be able to trace where it has gone to.
Cass, did you find anything?
That's a good point. What happened to our body? If we're just memories, then like what actually happened to the body? Also, I feel like we should check Don Hung just to make sure he isn't also dead too.
My apologies. Not as of yet. Perhaps I have overestimated my capabilities. But, Mister, would you be willing to let me try again? This time, I'll increase the area of contact slightly. Perhaps the result might be different this time.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I have never touched the living in this way before. If my actions are in any way disrespectful, I hope that you can forgive me.
Well, I'm dead, so. Casteries once again places her palm on your face. Her shivers calm somewhat this time. Did you discover something?
I seem to have caught a glimpse of something. Your soul is currently roaming someplace and cannot find a way to escape. But perhaps it might not be a bad thing. If your soul is still wandering around, it means that we still have time. We have a chance to find it before the fingers of Thanatos sweep everything away.
So am I the body, but my soul isn't here? How does this work?
Clues. Just a few more. I need more guidance. The connection has been severed. With my strength, I'm not able to trace it. It was me. I was a little too hasty. Don't worry, mister. Although we currently have no leads, I will do my best to search for the whereabouts of Thanatos, bring back their core flame, and personally return to you the life that you have lost too soon. I know that I'm lacking in confidence, but I hope that you can keep this promise of mine in mind. Before I manage to deliver on this promise, please do your best to hang on. Amphoreans needs you.
So what now?
Lady Aglaya and Lord Finon are currently discussing some matters in the paths. They're worried about you too. If possible, please go there and let them know that you're well. Although, I don't actually know whether your current situation can be described as well. Also, please accept this Styxian fable. Reading can help one to focus and relax. I hope that reading this can help tide you through this difficult period.
More and more species.
Styxian Fables 1. Discuss your next steps with Aglaya.
Lady Aglaya and Lord Finon are currently discussing some matters in the...
Ah man, if only Gwenithan and Shu Shang were here to see me as a ghost, that would be very funny. And Hua Hua.
They're here.
That partner! Hyacinth said you definitely wake up. How do you feel?
So the entire world knows about this now. So she can even take the pulse of someone who's dead. Feels quite cool being a part of the spirit. I mean, I guess I have a pulse because I'm the memory of myself. So my memory has me being alive. So I have a pulse. I don't know. Who knows how this works?
That's the medical prowess of the Twilight Courtyard. Amazing, isn't it?
You've completed the trial of time, and I have to admit that the process went better than I expected. Even in the end, that Titan's heart still showed a soft spot for humankind. However, I never expected that. Two people who have cheated death would appear in Akima at the same time.
That's what we have been talking about. Mighty has been in Akima for such a long time, but has no one thought to study his indestructible body? If there were even any minor breakthroughs, we wouldn't be as clueless as we are right now.
Many have had this idea, but so far, there have been no results. If it were successful, Thanatos wouldn't have disappeared without a trace. Nevertheless, now is not the time for us to give up. At the very least, we can still see a glimmer of hope. Cypher. If
Cypher.
anyone in this world knows the whereabouts of death, it would be her.
Why? Why would it be her?
I'll try and get her to return to Akima, but do be prepared for a less than ideal outcome. Please understand that throughout the history of Amphoreans, no one has ever managed to escape the clutches of death. At the end of time, Thanatos silently awaits all.
Is this supposed to be comforting?
Don't take it to heart, partner. After all, you've already created countless miracles along the way, right?
But before that, just...
What's wrong, Aglaya?
Omens always come in pairs. A tiny air current will eventually brew into a storm that tears the sky apart. It's Anaxagoras. He has initiated contact with the Council of Elders.
In the end, it has still come down to this.
I earnestly hope that your assessment of him is accurate, Finan. Otherwise, the efforts of my teacher and I of the past millennium might be reduced to dust because of that great performer.
Switching to Anaxagoras's POV not long ago. Where in the world is this guy now?
I'm back here again. I remember this dream.
Okay.
This realm is covered in a silk-like fog, and the land is barren and harsh. The crowd of travelers leaves tracks everywhere.
Hey! Excuse me! What is this place? Where in Amphoreans are we?
The mutters of the traveler are in a language I'm unable to comprehend. Or perhaps they're just distracted and ignored my question.
Tell me, which Titan reigns over this land? And how do I find them?
Hand of Shadow.
Hand of Shadow Thanatos. Could this possibly be the Netherrealm?
Not Netherrealm.
Then where is this? River of Souls? The outskirts of the Netherrealm? Are you heading downstream toward the Netherrealm?
The Netherrealm. Nothing but an illusion. Titan rejects you, me. Listen.
What? The traveler lifts their wrinkled fingers and remains silent. I look in the direction they are pointing and listen closely. There. A massive shadow brought the sound of rushing tides. The sound of tides. I can hear it. I hear it, deep within the tides, beyond the closed gates of the Void World. A voice, about to recount something.
Child of humanity, is it death's embrace you yearn for with such urgency?
Interesting. The Nether Realm is an illusion.
Oh, you have awoken. Welcome back to the mortal realm. Your consciousness is dissipating much faster than I expected. Ultimately, it seems like the Titan's core flame is incompatible with a mortal body.
How much longer can my consciousness remain in the mortal realm?
In my estimation, at best, you'll see 15 more entry hours.
Okay, that's the same as me, or they mentioned 15 earlier.
15 days and nights.
What is it? Are you finally starting to become attached to the mortal world now?
On the contrary, 15 days feels a little too long for solving a singular problem. Stop giggling. It's time for us to go. The messenger from the Council of Elders is almost here.
Let me ask you one more question. Are you really planning to betray Aglaya's will?
What betrayal is there to speak of when I was never loyal to her to begin with?
What about that white-haired student of yours? Acting so recklessly, do you not care about what might happen to him?
There will be a price to pay for blind faith. This is also a lesson for Finan.
You truly are a strict teacher.
Dear mother, you granted me life.
Of course. This is how I've always been.
Meet with the Council of Elder Messenger. Is that a robot?
Sorry to keep you waiting, Lord Inexagaris. It's been a while, Lord Inexagaris.
They just have robots now? What is it?
I greet you on behalf of all the citizens of Akima and express my deepest regret about what happened at the Grove of Epiphany.
Or is this like Kyrgyz? Like Kyrgyz?
It's you. I never expected that you would personally come and meet me.
By carefully into Lantern above, I have come as a testament to the justice of the Council of Elders.
There are Antikytherians here? They have been a rare sight ever since the Chrysos War.
Yeah, it must be that. Yeah, because it said he, like Kyrgyz or whatever his name was an Antikytherian, And then it said a race, and I was like, they're another race. Apparently they're robots.
I extend to you my utmost respect, revered Titan. I am Lycurgus, though you may call me Lygus, holding an honorary position within the Council of Elders in Akima, and as the Theoros, I stand to protect the right of all upright citizens to express themselves freely.
But who made the Antikytherians? The Mountain Dwellers were made by Georios.
You can see them too?
You know about us. We Antikytherians perceive the world through the amplitude and frequency of souls. Just as I am conscious that Lady Aglaya is secretly listening in on our private meeting from afar, if necessary, Lord Anaxagoras, I can sever the golden thread to protect your fundamental rights.
The demigod should know better, for such is her station. Spare those poor threats, and just let her listen to my words. They shall serve only to unveil her own folly.
May I interpret this as you having a countermeasure?
I need not any plan, because she can do nothing other than petty espionage. As the Citizens' Assembly approaches, and with Orynyx's fall, any attempt to capture the core flame within me will only usher chaos and calamity. A truth she undoubtedly comprehends. While I, Anaxagoras, serving as the Grove's special envoy to Akima's Citizens' Assembly, have long known the extent of your abilities. Let's forego the formality of asserting authority, Lord Lygus. Lead the way.
Very well. Surely Lady Kindness would appreciate such assertiveness in an ally. She's been waiting. Follow
Sprinting.
me, please.
I don't know what the existence of robots does for this world. Very strange.
Is there something on your mind, Lord Anaxagoras?
Nothing, really. It's just a question that I contemplate every time before I ascend to Dawncloud. For the Titans, does the falling equate to death?
Ah, a pondering truly deep. Time is on our side. Do you mind sharing your reflections with me?
While all living beings must ultimately face their demise, Kefali has yet to meet theirs. Their journey continues unhurriedly along this long path.
Are you suggesting that Kefali may not have truly passed?
Yes. For dying implies an ongoing process, an action, whereas death signifies a static state, a definitive termination. In contrast to mortals, Titans exist on a grander scale of space and time, thus elongating their passage into death. The notion of their fall
is but a misinterpretation born of mortal ignorance.
Ah, an intriguing concept, albeit challenging to substantiate. After all, Kefali has maintained a profound silence ever since the era Arasa, while scholars and priests alike have conveyed the message of the gods' imminent fall.
Perhaps the gods in their arrogance deemed it beneath them to reveal their perspectives to mortals.
But Kefli did send a message to Tribios. Unless that was, I guess that was maybe the era. Maybe that was the era, Ratio? I mean, that was a long, long time ago. Also, I'm very interested in what's going on, like, aesthetically with this guy. So he's got this similar, like, weird space 3D animation thing on him as Anaxagrius does, and I always thought it was weird that, like, what was going on with Anaxagrius' chest there, but this robot guy also has it. And his shoulder pads also have, like, a little artistic depiction of stars as well. Which is strange for, you know, a society that sky is taboo.
Could you elaborate on your statement?
Circes, the kin of the Sky Father as recounted in myths, now resides within my brain. Were I to inquire, Kefali would have no cause to refuse.
Oh.
That very well could be true. But what if the world-bearing Titan still chooses to remain silent?
In that case, the myths crafted by the people of Amphoreans are nothing more than pitiful jests.
It's worth a try. I believe, and I'd love to witness the fruits of your theory and the change it may bring to this imperiled world. Because I completely concur with you on this aspect. If the Titan has indeed met their end, any response from them would be impossible.
This normal? Or is this happening already?
Please, Professor.
The children of humanity have indeed created a spectacle.
Welcome to Dawn Cloud. The atmosphere here carries a greater sense of solemnity than the mundane clamor of the Marmorial Palace, with entry permitted only to the invited.
I guess that's normal. I guess that's just how you get here, question mark. So the body can move?
Only esteemed beings grace this place, and among them I've received priests, scholars, warriors, and now we even have the honor to be in the presence of a Titan. Oh, what a joyous occasion.
Once deemed a blasphemer, now a surrogate for revered divinity. The honor should rightfully be mine. shouldn't it?
I'll notify Kindness and the others of your arrival. Kindly wait for a moment. The soldier will be here to guide you shortly. In the meanwhile, you are welcome to explore the vicinity, but kindly remain within the guard's view. Delaying the crucial meeting is something none of us wish to see, I presume.
I'm well aware of Kindness's methods. There's no need to emphasize that.
As you wish. Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Alas, I had hoped for a brilliant plan from you, but it turns out you just left one cage to enter another.
Save your concerns. I know very well what I'm doing.
I shall depart to explore the surroundings then. Now that I look around, I wonder if there are any murals bearing my portrait around here. I'm quite intrigued to see how the children of humanity beyond the grove perceive another Titan.
Off you go. I won't be joining you. This Titan appears to be quite at ease. I should investigate the Council of Elders' recent activities first.
Be aware, I can hear you perfectly well from here.
The Citizens' Assembly of Akama. Quite, citizen. Know where you stand. The Citizens' Assembly, the beacon of public opinion, a crucible where truth is forged. The falls cleanse away delirious dredges, while reason sharpens through the tempering of debates. The golden liquid within the holy candle flows steadily, as if measuring the very passage of time. Walk around before the messenger arrives in both places. But like, go take a look over here. A view of... Holy. Now I'm not sure how this works exactly on the map. Like physically, because we could see Kefli's body from the city. But like there's a building in the way. So how does that work? I don't understand. Also there is giant balls of energy containing symbols of the other titans. Interesting. The great lake cradled by a volcano. Here the world-bearing Sky Fathers spilled their golden blood into the mortal lake. The golden blood flows down with spring waters as dawn arises with the mists. No words ever break the solemn silence, and the volcano's heart beats no more. Now they're mentioning the Sky Father.
Ah, want this?
Which feels weird that that's a thing that's just being mentioned by the public now, because I don't think they've mentioned it before, and I feel like that kind of counteracts the whole idea of like, oh, there's 12 Titans. They're like, well, there's 12 Titans, and also the Skyfather was a thing. But now, like, if the Titans themselves just said that, like, or Ornix saying that, like, sure, but like, Cersei's mentioned it, which I guess kind of makes sense. But like Kyrgyz didn't say anything, and that banner just mentions it. Follow me, sailor. How many waves have we braved, and how many reefs have we crossed? Surely you remember those nights we kept watch on the mast, the pure moonlight spilling over the sails, the ship rocking gently as it glided across the dark sea. In those moments, I even dreamed of becoming a hero. Did you feel the same? Yes, yes. And now we are finally setting sail again. Are you ready, sailors? Aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye, Captain. Buzz. That was like the longest one there's ever been. I assume that's Cersei's and that's Aquila? So that would be... I guess that's a door maybe, so that's Yennis and... Well, that's nothing really. I guess Kevli? I don't know. Maybe.
Professor Anaxa! Over here!
The world is a gargantuan sandbox game. Ah, hey. Furious flames. Phew, Dawncloud has such a complex place. Luckily, the winds here aren't too strong, so my flames can burn peacefully. Speaking of which, I overheard a question earlier and couldn't come up with a good answer after thinking about it for a while. An elder, a priest, a wealthy merchant, a crisis era trapped in the same ruins. They all want to get out alive, so they all want to give orders to others. The elder says they represent the people, the priest says they represent the Titans, the merchant claims to have a lot of balance coins in the city, and the Chrysos heir is mighty and strong, so who among these four is most likely to have the final message? They all want to get out alive, so they all want to give orders to others. The elder says they represent the people, the priest say they represent the Titans, the merchant has a lot of money, and the Chrysos heir is strong, so who among these four is most likely to have the final say? What a weird... riddle. Well, we're in the hall of the Citizens' Assembly, so you might say the Elder. But if the priest represents the Titans, then maybe the priest, since that's the word of the Titans. They're all trapped in the same ruin. So, yeah, so they're trapped in the ruin. So they're not like just hanging out. They all want to get out alive. So in that case, the Chrysos heir? So in times of crisis, we should trust the strongest person, right? Sounds reasonable. But being crisis air is just a physical trait. What if this person is all brain, or all brawn and no brains? Could they really lead everyone to safety? What a complicated question. I'll stop bothering you now. Let my mind burn for a while longer. I thought they're asking a riddle, not just asking for my opinion. Okay. Moths are always drawn to flight, but diving straight into fire is not wise. Dreams should be pursued step by step. Approach the flame a little more each day, and after 100 days, you won't fear standing in the buzz. Phew, today's training ends here. The rest will wait for tomorrow. Hello, young scribe.
Professor Anaxa? Word has it that the scholars of the Grove valiantly perished resisting the Black Tide. To find you here safe and sound, thank the fates.
You could say it's the fates toying with us.
It's only the Krymnoans and Idonians who chase glory through death. But your survival is a victory in itself. I'd settle for that gladly. So, are you here to report the incident to the Council? I heard that after the Black Tide devoured the Grove, Akuma would be next in line, even with the demigod of strife standing alongside humankind.
Tell me, how much does the Council of Elders know about the Black Tide?
Once Kindness and her followers learned of Circe's and Orynyx's fall, they proclaimed in the council that the Flame Chasers could no longer stand against the calamity alone. Yet, when the Crown Prince ascended to godhood and repelled the Black Tide, she immediately altered her tune, declaring that all was resolved beyond Akuma, with the only remaining menace now being Aglaya and her adherents. They might well make their move at the upcoming Citizens' Assembly.
No surprises there, those shifty opportunists. Thank you for your honesty, virtuous student.
Being an opportunist could very well be a facet of wisdom.
Shouldn't you be searching for murals of yourself? I've had enough of your prattling.
I was really curious to see how you would find the middle ground between both factions, so I came to listen in. But it seems as though this Kindness is much more ruthless than Aglaya. If so, why do you want to work with her? Could it be that perhaps you've decided to readily surrender this hollow shell of yours, just because you feel like death is fast approaching?
I'm afraid you'll be sorely disappointed if that's what you truly think.
Even blasphemous scholars can come here, it seems.
Looks like my presence here is quite unwelcome.
Oh, you want this? Fine. Take it and amuse yourself.
Ah, I did it too well, apparently. There we go.
Who came up with this? Seriously, go rewrite it.
Click. Mark those as delete immediately upon getting them, instead of digging through my inventory later. Surprised there's no books in this area. Human, pour your sorrows and troubles out to me. I cannot resolve them, but I'll keep blessing you quietly, always and forever, Buzz. A lot of weird eyeball motifs going on in this place. I don't know what that means.
Anaxagoras, I thought that you had died to the Black Tide, just like the other scholars.
I love that the people who hate him say his name as he wishes. The people who don't hate him ignore his wishes. Fascinating.
As Kefali's priest, are you not aware of the decorum of respecting the dead?
Surely you jest. You blasphemous heretics are not worthy of respect from the Supreme Being. Let me remind you that you're currently in Dawn Cloud, so you'd better keep your deranged language to yourself. I am no longer that altar servant from years ago who could only acquiesce to the commands of others. Now, I have plenty of ways to deal with people like you.
I'm not sure whether I should laugh or cry right now. I can't believe that a follower such as you could have been made by a creation titan. As I see it, a dead titan can't provide you with this level of confidence, right? Then who is it exactly? Could it be kindness?
You. Seeing how fond of you Elder Kindness is, I shall let that slide for now. Leave immediately, and don't impede us from receiving the Supreme Being's blessings.
Seeing as we were able to hear of this matter from the mouths of others, it seems that kindness is indeed quite sincere toward us. Perhaps this affair will proceed smoother than I had anticipated.
Oh my, what a thrilling confrontation. As expected of one of Kefali's followers.
Are you praising or insulting him?
Praising him, of course. As a believer of the God of Deliverance, it is only natural that he detests evil.
Didn't you hear me? I asked you to leave. Go as far away from here as possible. Don't mutter to yourself like some sort of madman and disturb my meditation.
I've had enough of this. Could the 15th entry hour arrive any faster?
Now I'm trying to think. Did they call in the past? Did they call Kefali the Sky Father? Because if so, that changes a lot. Maybe the Vortex of Genesis on his description said something about that? Because I feel like maybe that was a thing, but I don't know why we would then question who the Sky Father is with Ornyx.
Oh, my. Could it be that the great tree painted in this mural is actually depicting me?
Yeah.
Every plant, every tendril, no, even every leaf could be the embodiment of Circe's.
As a result, mere mortals who did not know what the Titan actually looked like chose to paint them as a giant tree instead. Their wisdom was portrayed as fruit, to symbolize how they shared their knowledge equally among the masses. Such exquisiteness indeed.
This mural is quite abstract.
I really can't tell whether you are praising or demeaning yourself. Now I'm quite curious whether the Reason Titan has studied figures of speech before.
Of course I find such stylistic devices interesting. For all we know, this could be the answer to the question, what exactly are we?
I, for one, am not willing to admit that I could look this ugly.
Damn.
Was this the reason why you failed in your attempt to refine my soul when you were ambushed at the Grove?
Since you are aware of this, why did you save me back then?
From my perspective, this point alone was enough to separate you from the average person.
How do two lunatics coexist in the same brain?
Therefore, it seems that your journey to Dawnfloud this time is not just to seek protection. What, then, is the intention behind your actions?
The entire plan is stored in my memory, so why don't you look there?
Then don't mind if I do. 1 year old? 2 years old? Oh my! Even a member of the preeminent 7 sages must hug his droma stall to sleep? How interesting.
That's enough.
How unusual. Your soul is actually trembling. This must mean that behind this toy hides a secret that nobody knows, right?
Since our days are both numbered, I don't mind telling you more about it. This is a present that my sister gave to me. It's a doll that was made to look like our family pet.
So there are other members in your family, eh? Are they also living in Akama?
Don't you just love to pick through my brain? Go on, continue flipping through my memories. It won't take long. You'll discover the answer when you reach the memories of when I was 5.
Oh, the black tide is everywhere. I can't bear to look.
When I was young, I couldn't accept this outcome either. Georios, Aquila, Kefali, and you, of course. Although I prayed to every Titan that I could think of for help, my efforts were ultimately futile.
This... Could this be the inception of your research into alchemy?
Indeed it was. Everything started from that verdant courtyard of yours. When I was pursuing my education there, I naturally also came to learn of Thelesis' theory as well.
Thelesis, the first scholar.
Oh, I remember that person. He was the one to come up with the concept of souls, right?
Not only that, he also believed that life, as well as the composition, movement, and transformation of matter, all stem from souls themselves. This is why I thought that, since all living things stemmed from the same origin, why could I not sacrifice myself in order to resurrect my nearest and dearest?
Anaxa, you...
teacher. But this is absolute blasphemy. Regardless of how much freedom the Grove provides, such an act could cause you to be burned at the pyre. Your beloved, where is she now? Send her away from the Grove at once, to a place where nobody will ever be able to find her. Otherwise, the both of us will be judged by the Council of the Seven Sages.
Calm down, teacher. My sister, she's still not in the mortal realm. Even to this day.
What do you mean?
It was naive of me to think that I could snatch the deceased from Thanatos' grip by merely sacrificing one eye. Equivalent exchange. All I received for that price was but an opportunity to see her for one final time. Nothing more.
Oh. Let it go, Anaxa. As one of my best students, I cannot watch you go down the wrong path without doing anything to stop it. Never do something taboo ever again. Don't disappoint the deceased, and never harm yourself. If you can do that, this classroom will still be yours, and you'll have a chance to live out your own life.
Since I was able to see her one last time, I have no other desires. You're right, teacher. It's time for me to start a new life.
I am sincerely glad for you, child. Now then, what topic would you like to study?
I wish to continue Thalesis' research.
Continue the research into souls, but you know that the Grove has long since understood his philosophy like the back of their hands. Even if you continue digging into this subject, your efforts will likely be futile.
No, teacher. After my fleeting glimpse of the deathly fog, I finally understood a single truth. Since ancient days, our understanding of the souls is but the tip of the iceberg. I may have lost an eye, but my view of the world has become clearer than ever. I have grasped the truth with my bare hands. Watch as I turn this farcical world upside down.
Who would have thought such a secret lay concealed beneath that hefty eye patch of yours? However, this story doesn't seem to be connected to your plan. In fact, I'd say that they aren't related at all.
The answer lies within the tale. If even you cannot understand it, perhaps you should relinquish the divinity of reason to me. After all, it'd be a waste for you to hold on to it. My story ends here. Now it's time for you to tell me your secret. After all, this is what equivalent exchange means, correct?
As expected, you laid a trap for me to step into. Unfortunately, even if I was willing to talk about my past, I may not know more about it than you do.
Oh? Are you saying that the renowned Reason Titan is now admitting a lack of wisdom? Your followers are going to be sorely disappointed by this.
Oh, child of humanity, remember this. Being cognizant of one's ignorance is the greatest wisdom of all.
Now I understand. No wonder you asked me to answer your random, nonsensical questions.
Not only that, you're the only one who can shed light on my query. As the saying goes, onlookers see most clearly.
Is that so?
Lord Anaxa.
Hmm?
I saw you muttering to yourself and was wondering whether you were caught in a delirium of reflective thought. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but time is of the essence. I have a message from Lord Lygus. Lady Kindness has met up with the Council of Elders and is awaiting your arrival, so please depart forthwith.
It's finally time.
Carefully. The one who created the world, and the one who bears the world. If you truly have not met your end, how will you answer the challenges of those who defy you?
I didn't expect you to agree to Lady Kindness's invitation. What a wonderful turn of events. To tell you the truth, there are many people who hold grudges against that Lady Goldweaver.
I'm curious how alchemy exactly fits into the order of things. Like, he performed some alchemical ritual, I guess, exchanged his eye, and got to see his sisters again for a brief moment. Like, yeah, okay. Typical alchemy magic system, sure.
Isn't that the dromas draped in finery?
Avoid his gaze. I don't acquaint myself with blasphemers.
Don't worry. He's too full of pride to pay us any attention.
Your nickname is Dromus as well? You must really like those creatures.
But how does that fit into, like, the Titan system? And the simulation system, assuming that's correct. Just going to assume that's correct.
A student of Empedocles? I hear that his views run counter to the Venerationists.
This is what being a scholar is about. A collision of ideas only occurs when there are differences in beliefs, and it is such collisions that lead to progress.
Yet, in my view, there are only right and wrong perspectives, neither of which can coexist with the other.
What radical thinking. I guess this is why the children of humanity always squabble with each other.
How boring.
You seem to be avoiding that Goldweaver person. Why don't you address her face to face?
I have nothing to talk about with her. Since you're in my brain, you can look for the reason yourself.
Oh, the leader of the Flame Chase journey and a demigod of Nestia.
You're really searching through my brain. What are you treating it as? Some sort of toy?
Regardless, you think quite highly of her, no?
That's because I'm a teacher who grades everyone fairly.
That was a long conversation to not be in a cutscene. We traveled way that looks way farther away than it did the opposite when we were over there looking here. And also the pillar things with the orbs are closer to here than they were. Hold on a sec. What is happening? What is the dimensions of this place? Yeah, like that pillar is like right next to us. But then you travel here, and those pillars are not anywhere close to that mountain. That doesn't make any sense. Interesting that there's a hole here. I guess that's maybe the volcano's in, like, top, maybe? Whatever that's called.
Lord Lygus and Lady Kindness are just ahead. I'll take my leave for now.
There's the garment maker, okay. Here's a puzzle. Okay, I don't know if that was wrong. I think I just messed up my own movement there. We'll try that again. And also, okay, don't do that. Try that again. No, see, I need to be... Yeah, I need to be... Interesting. Okay, this is harder than it looks. Because I need to already be here by the time it gets onto the button, at least the second time. But if I walk here... If I walk to the ladder... That's the only way, the first path I did is the only one I can really get to. Get to them on 7. Get to the button on 7. But maybe I don't need to stay there. Maybe because I'm trying to just get to, like, get past the one hole and get to the other one, I don't want to stay there at all. So kind of, this one might be different than pretty much every other one, where you always want to, like, end on the button. Like, what if I just don't do that? Like, what if I don't end on the button? I'm not getting there in time still. Oh, you know what? It's probably like one of those ones where I have to press the button for it as well. Yes, that's exactly what I have to do. Except I didn't press the button in time. I did not get to it in time. There's gotta be a nymph around here somewhere. The big area. I'll just do it once over. Anything up? Ekion, a new aristocrat. Sometimes I like putting them on the side of ledges that you can't see. I'll go over. They've done that to me in the past. Glycon, hero of the arena. Ulysses, an aristocrat. Nothing. Really? Nothing? You caught me. Yep. I'm working a part-time gig here, just a little flame in the fire pit. Looks like it's the perfect job for me, right? But it gets pretty boring. I spend a lot of time just sitting here doing nothing, and there's really no opportunity to slack off. Is human life always like this? Signing a devil's contract, exchanging your life for goods, and willingly transforming into something like a machine? Yes. But don't worry, I'll smash it all sooner or later. Hey, I get it. Era Nova, right? The old world, hopeless as it is, isn't worth mourning. People should start fresh and build their own paradise. Wait, did I just get carried away? Ugh. Oh dear, if humans want to live seriously, it's so hard. I don't know if I'm supposed to be getting anything out of those guys. I feel like I should be, but I haven't gotten anything from those guys. Dahlia and Ella have names, but I can't talk to them? That's weird. Well, it's probably for maybe if I come here. Outside of the POV.
Welcome to the Demigod Council, esteemed guests.
Why is there a cube? What is this holy cube?
Lord Anaxagoras. Oh, I've heard so much about you.
Oh, that's the core flame of Kethleigh, it looks like.
Head of the Nusporists of the Grove of Epiphany, notorious blasphemer, a Chrysos heir who bears Circe's core flame, a survivor of the Grove calamity. Did I miss anything? Well, if so, please be so kind as to enlighten me.
Since Lady Kindness is already well acquainted with me, I won't waste any effort introducing myself again. But then again, perhaps the customs are different here. Back in my hometown, there is a form of etiquette known as honoring guests. The host will welcome their guest with warm hospitality by treating them to fine wine and a cozy bed. And yet, ever since I arrived, I have not been welcomed with warm courtesy or ceremonial gifts. Instead, I am met with intense scrutiny. Even more absurd, the host has sharpened their blade and instructed their servants to lie in wait in the shadows. Perhaps you intend to cut open my heart, retrieve the core flame, and then hold a grand feast for all of the guests.
Everyone, stand down.
Thank you for understanding. I am but a feeble scholar who is not used to the stench of avarice and blood.
No need to be humble, my lord. From my perspective, your courage and gumption are worthy of the reputation of the Seven Sages. Your bravery is more than adequate to accomplish our perilous endeavor.
So, you wish to start a war?
Well, since the Chrysos heirs are calling for war, we will respond in kind. Conflict is inevitable. Since Aglaya endeavors to suppress the virtuous commoners with blood of gold, we will not hesitate to display the rights and mettle the citizens of Akima are so entitled to. As to your question of whether peace is still a viable option, well, to that I can only say this. Everything hinges on the next citizens' assembly and whether they have a sudden epiphany amid the clamor of the masses. And since you, as a Chrysos heir, accepted our invitation, you have indeed given us a glimmer of hope.
What brazen arrogance. What you're saying right now is worlds apart from what you were saying before you retired your cleaners.
I don't deny it. After all, they're responsible for cleaning up any threats, and just a moment ago, you were on the side of the Chrysos heirs. But now that you're an ally of ours, we can continue talking somewhere else. As you know, these walls have ears. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to discuss a treatise about the Venerationists with your teacher, Empedocles. Yet, it seems you subscribe to the Nusporists instead, Lord Anaxa. I've heard that this school of thought is one with many detractors.
It's normal for ideas to have supporters and dissenters, just like how there are two types of people in this world, geniuses and dimwits.
Oh.
The theater beneath the gods' watch. Innocently for mortal debates, a theater under the gods' watch. Here at the center of all beings, we dare to listen, speak, and deliberate. Reason out rules, establish laws, and pronounce death. O gods, does this amuse you?
Welcome back to the hub of the Demigod Council, Lord Anaxagoras. Surely you remember that countless eloquent orators have stood in this spot before and emerged victorious by stoking public sentiment with their words. And yet there have also been innumerable blasphemous philosophers who set themselves up for failure because they refused to defend their actions. This tiny stage is the most profound embodiment of Akama in centuries. In 15 days, this site shall also become the most important, as well as the final turning point in Akama's history. May the both of us carry out our duties with honor and lead the masses back toward the Erechrysia, a golden age with no death, strife, or trickery.
Oh my, 15 days and nights. That aligns perfectly with the date of your demise. Could such a coincidence truly exist?
Using death to prove myself fits my intentions perfectly.
What strong conviction you have, as expected of the hero who dared to stand up to the Gold Weaver.
As expected, she misunderstands you.
That's enough, Lady Kindness. Dispense with the niceties. I only accepted your invitation so that I can serve the commoners alongside the members of the Council of Elders. Don't test my patience with such superfluous formalities.
Well, you say that now, but surely you also require my aid as well, so that you can stay alive even when being pursued by the Golden Thread?
You worry too much. She won't show her hand too freely, as she still needs to garner support from the masses at the Citizens' Assembly.
Even someone like me can tell that only a sliver of her humanity remains. Surely you're not asserting that she will definitely act in a rational manner.
As you're no doubt aware, Aglaya covets the core flame that I possess, which makes it the bargaining chip that allows me and the rest of you to negotiate with her. However, in return, I'll need the Council of Elders to support me as much as possible. Naturally, this includes the guards as well. You're well aware how valuable Circe's core flame will be in the Erechrysia that you are desperately pursuing. Talk is cheap, so you'd better act prudently as well.
I understand. After all, this battle of wits is just a means for each party to acquire what they need. As long as your request is reasonable, the Council of Elders never shortchanges its allies. Since we're both intent on mutual cooperation, let's not mince words and just speak plainly to each other. Let us decide how much we can secure for ourselves and how much we're willing to sacrifice like true philosophers, with our words and wisdom.
Let's begin.
Continuing from the earlier topic, let us discuss our common enemy, Aglaya. She is the second most experienced Chrysos heir across the whole of Akama, who has gradually lost her humanity to the ravages of time and the ablation of the core flame. A formidable opponent indeed. Admittedly, there is ample reason for her to take your life. Yet your previous reasoning is quite sound. As a seasoned political animal, it's unclear whether she will actually cross that irreversible boundary. Moreover, she still needs you alive so that the Titan's trial can be completed. Is there anyone present who can swear by the sacred vow of Kefali and guarantee that you weren't in league with that woman before coming here? are you just trying to pull the wool over our eyes and aid her in her savagery?
She's prepared to execute me. She just needs vessels who will do her bidding without question.
If Aglaya required a suitably intelligent Chrysos heir, then I'm the best fit for her needs. However, it's quite evident that she has no need for a Chrysos heir who could break free of her control at any time. Since I believe in neither Titans nor the prophecy, there's no way that I would willingly walk on the path that she extols. Given how rigorously she enforces her principles, how would she ever accept a heretic such as me?
I understand what you mean. At the very least, the both of us agree that this tyrant who wallows in extravagance and greed is the greatest threat to achieving peace in Akama. The Council of Elders is willing to defend your right to live, just as we defend every oppressed citizen. However, I regret to say that sentiments in favor of the Chrysos heirs and Aglaya are only growing in magnitude. The peace that we are aspiring toward, as well as everything that we hold dear, will be destroyed completely. The city will be burned to ashes, and the citizens' blood will be shed. Tell me, what are you willing to do for our esteemed citizens so that they can vanquish the enemies of our fine city?
Garnering my support is equivalent to garnering the support of the entire Grove. I will be the one to shatter Aglaya's self-righteousness.
Aglaya's authoritarianism, conceit, and arrogance have granted her unfettered control for the most part. Yet these traits are also her greatest weakness. If I can render her helpless by forcing her to experience the agonizing pain of betrayal, I am certain she will never recover from such a setback.
Surely you don't believe that such a tiny betrayal will be enough to push her to her wit's end.
What's more, there are many who remain silent, merely watching to see how much chaos I can unleash. Not to mention, you know full well that the Chrysos heirs have never been a united front.
In the name of Kefali, Akama thanks you for your sincere and valuable thoughts. At this stage, it's clear that you and I understand the benefits to be won from this discussion. Let me put it plainly. The Council of Elders has always been renowned for its fairness, and that fairness is built on a foundation of sincerity. The Council of Elders has vowed to all citizens of Akaba that it will always remain loyal to them. As for you, my lord, how will you guarantee that you will be able to live up to such earnestness and will not betray Akama's indomitable citizens when the opportunity presents itself? Just as you now betray Aglaya when it suits you.
How absurd. My loyalty is unquestionable.
Surely you jest. My loyalty does not need to be proven. The fact that the Council of Elders is asking for proof of my loyalty is itself akin to a form of betrayal.
I am incredibly honored to have witnessed the both of you bury the hatchet in a civilized manner. However, I am afraid that I must interrupt for a brief moment. As the Theoros, I have observed the following. Lady Aglaya, the Goldweaver, is currently on her way to Dawncloud.
Oh, yeah?
Oh. Well, I do believe that we might have a slight overabundance of guests today.
Feeling dissatisfied, Lady Kindness? Despite the Council of Elders' lofty residence on Dawncloud, it must still tolerate the whims of the Chrysos heirs.
So you were holding back just now. Seems like you are better at playing this game than I. In any case, I'm glad that she's arriving here. So tell me, Anaxagoras, now that you're an ally of mine, if Aglaya were to demand that I hand you over, what should I do?
You can do as she says. Tell her that the Council of Elders merely wished to chat with me and had no intention of offending her. However, by doing so, the authority of the Council of Elders will be as thin as papyrus that has been soaked in blood. Not only can it be destroyed at the slightest touch, but the Council will also lose possession of a valuable core flame. No, more like 2 core flames. After all, at the next Citizens' Assembly, that young lady who is synonymous with death will also be standing on our side.
Uh-huh.
Oh? How can you be sure of that?
Huh?
Is that of importance to you? All you need to know is that I have a plan. In my opinion, you should be more worried about the impending threat. If Aglaya can seize me in full view of the masses today, she could also dismiss the entire Council of Elders in one fell swoop tomorrow. If that happens, the discussion that we've just had will turn into an utter joke instead. Is this the outcome that you wish to see, Lady Kindness?
Fine. I will handle this matter appropriately. But you do best to remember this. Fool the people and karma will be on your tail. I'll overlook it this time, but don't count on there being a next time. Unless, of course, you crave cruel punishment and consider suffering the perfect state to ponder the true nature of souls.
Well, what do you know? That happens to be one of my rare talents.
We shall see then.
I've got to say that you've managed to really impress me again. But shouldn't you be going after more?
Dying to know what I'm after,
I mean, I'm the reason Titan after all. It is in me to ask and seek answers.
Easy there. You'll learn the answers soon enough. I didn't bring it up with her purely because she doesn't have the means to give me what I truly want. It's as they say, onlookers see most clearly. The true masters of Dawncloud have always been the Theoros, who watches over everything.
An expected visitor. Welcome once again. You know, you could actually skip all the pointless debate and come straight to me to seek an audience with Kefali. I have no reason to refuse you, do I?
You may not, but Kindness has. Whoever gets hold of Kefali's core flame will get to rule over Akama. She's wary of me, so naturally I had to gain her trust. I would say that debate was not at all pointless.
Very true.
In my view, this individual has gone to great lengths to get close to Kefali. He might very well be plotting something nefarious against the Titan. Are you still willing to let him pass, knowing this?
Yes, very much so. All living creations are always free to visit Kefali's transcendent vessel. This comes with being the World-Bearer.
How convenient it is to be able to hear what they say.
It is truly my honor to speak to a venerated Titan in person. Please, go ahead. Let me join you both on this journey. A bygone myth tells of an occasion where Kefali once answered their followers' questions on the peak of the Holy Mountain. Their followers have since believed that scaling this Titan cliff is one way of being with the god.
Hear that? It's not every day that you get to climb a mountain with Circes. You should sing me a hymn of praise.
Titan hymns are beyond me.
Oh, there's the nymph. Fate has guided you to my hiding place, Buzz. Found it myself. Fate is like the knot tied by my master, or the thread spun by my lady. They entwine and weave to form the bonds that connect us. And these bonds that led you to find me, Buzz. There's probably more than one, though. There's
Go
gotta
on
be.
ahead. Take this Yanis shortcut, and the long pilgrimage stairway will be waiting for you at its end.
I have to admit, I never expected you to not ask me anything. Not even my motive.
Because I know very well what it is you are after. As the saying goes, a gentleman helps others achieve their goals. I have a feeling that your theory will be validated at the end of this journey. I believe Kefali will not deprive you of your right to ask your question, especially now that you're on the brink of death. You must be closer to Kefali than anyone else. Wouldn't you agree?
I hope things go as you say, then.
Putting a child of justice into a farcical world is bound to turn it upside down. It is my hope that you bring a much-needed change to this world, which is on the brink of destruction.
Oh, you want this? Fine. Take it and amuse yourself.
Honestly, this is my first time going up to Dawn Cloud's peak.
What a splendid view. Isn't it about time you recognize the magnificence of us Titans?
Well, I don't see how this place is different from those temples in the city. All they have are magnificent facades. And even though I've come this far, I'm still doubtful about getting useful clues from him.
I must be getting ahead of myself to be expecting to hear something nice from you.
Oh? Haven't you been in my head for some time now? It's high time you get used to how I feel about things. Alright, we're just a short hike away from Kefali. No time to waste here.
So the intellectual debate from earlier was too draining for you, huh? If Amphoreans gets a new lease on life, you should focus on strengthening your body and stop shirking social interactions.
Save your concern.
The Titan is in sight. Can you make it?
Why? Are you going to carry me up if I were to fall now? I know how far I can go, so just hold your tongue and come along.
Fine then. I guess I won't say any more. I'll just wait till your soul dissipates completely to gain control over your body.
Wait. Who is that? Cersei's? Hey, look at that.
Huh? What should I be looking at?
Am I hallucinating? Or do we even get to see souls when we're close to dying?
Now it's getting out of hand there. Now there's two of them. Nias?
Oh? Why didn't you bring your favorite spear with you on this trip, Nias?
Nias? I know I've heard this name somewhere.
It's unfortunate. The Black Tide destroyed every last inch of my calyx.
How could that be? Even a creation of Georios, from their prized ores and molten fire, couldn't escape the fate of destruction?
Hey, Cersei's. Do you know a certain Nias?
Nias? No, not that I remember. How did you even think up such a strange name?
I just saw him. Nias. A warrior-like figure who was just chatting with you here.
No, I have no such memory. Could you be hallucinating?
This is a departed spirit.
There's a coin up there. I guess there's gonna be a hand on this place. And the nymph. Cersei's was talking to Nias. And Nias is Nikador, but Cersei's was just Cersei's? Halt, traveler from afar. 100 challengers have already failed my trial. Will you be the 101st? For the honor of being a weaver, take a guess. Behind which tree am I? What? I didn't even know that's what I was supposed to be paying attention to. You've seen through my moves, my honor as a weaver, my winning streak, both shattered, Buzz. Yeah, it's that easy. But why are there souls here?
Enough about me. Did Kaos ever reply to you?
Did Chaos?
Well, regrettably.
Seems like the price of becoming a demigod is a lot heftier than we thought.
Okay. Actually, was the previous... This one has Cersei's with question marks. Maybe the other one had it with question marks as well. So yeah, the price of becoming demigods is a lot heftier than we thought. So... I was gonna say, I wonder, because it was Nias, I wonder if they are saying that these current titans were themselves once also just normal people. Nias was the guy who became Nikodor, so when Nikodor was split, Nias was just one of the... was like the personality that split.
Kaos. Demigod. I've never heard of this person. Which Titan's authority did he inherit?
Look on the bright side, Nias. Since we've come all this way, I doubt he'd snub his old friends, would he?
Let's just hope we mean as much as the world to him.
Hey! Are you seeing that same hallucination again?
Yes. It's still you and Nias, but you're now talking about a certain Kaos. I'm guessing he's one of your companions?
Chaos? This name sounds just as strange to me.
Never mind. I think I know what this is about. If things are as I thought, then they aren't hallucinations, but the souls of people.
What? But if those are the souls of the dead, then what am I?
Beats me. For all I know, you're just an illusion I conjured up in my dying moments. Let's just keep going. As long as I take in more sights and hear more stories.
Know your limits. Wander too far among the dead, and even I might not be able to save you.
I'm fine. If this is indeed as I thought, then this will be very amusing.
There is some, I know there's some implications that, I think we might have seen it before, but that if the world is on a cycle, this definitely seems to imply that. If the current Titans, if Nias was a person who became Nikodor, then the world is on a cycle. Of, I guess, being destroyed and being reborn.
Oh.
It's said that tying a wind chime will make a wish. Here allows the Sunbearer to hear our desires. My wish is simple. My wish, rather, is simple. I hope for sunshine tomorrow to dry my dew-soaked wings. We're gonna wait on that puzzle.
So, we meet again. I'm sure you wouldn't mind a snooping ear.
Can you keep going?
Of course. I'm just I knew we had to climb a mountain, I wouldn't have come along with you.
I guess this also counts as one aspect of the world-bearing burden. If Amphoreans does have a next life, you may want to get your body in shape.
Keep your sarcasm to yourself.
I'm not getting anything of value from them.
Aren't you, though?
I would sooner throw myself off this cliff and hit rock bottom than exercise even a little. I am Calypso of the eminent Seven Sages, after all. Training would make me no different from those Helcalithist barbarians.
Interesting. Cersei did introduce herself as Calypso when we first met her.
Calypso? She's one of the Seven Sages. A member of the Grove? No, she can't be. I would know her name if she really were one of the Seven Sages. Hey, Cersei's. Does the name Calypso ring a bell? Cersei's? They're gone. Doesn't matter. I can do this myself. Looks like I'm nearly there now. The land of the dead.
I swore. Oh, there it is. I was like, there's a nymph on like one of the broken archways. There it is. I think I probably need the hand for that one.
Oh, beautiful old world. Where are you now? Oh, legendary era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm. Splendid gods once walked the paths we walk. Alas, all that's left of that warmth is a hazy mirage.
Why are you chanting that too?
Kefali's Lane. Devoted emissaries, heretical scholars, the lost wanderer, the desperate outlaw. At the edge of divinity we look up in awe. In a fleeting moment of terror, the long road behind fades from memory.
We're here. Finally. So, I don't get to ask the Titan my question, but all of you make for a pleasant surprise, nonetheless. Very well then. Let me uncover the truth for myself. Did I still fail to make it in time? Huh? So, I'm back here again. This is... I can hear it. I hear it from the depths of the tides, behind the closed doors of the void world. A voice ready to tell me something. This time, the voice is a lot clearer than before.
Since we've come this far, let's just wait.
Lord Nias and Miss Calypso, are you both here to visit Chaos too?
Yes, and we've been waiting for quite some time now.
Regrettably, he hasn't answered us. The worst case scenario is that he's already been overwhelmed and crushed by the world-bearing burden.
You're overthinking, Lord Nias. I can still sense Chaos' soul in the area. And besides, we both know Chaos' nature. A deliverer like him wouldn't fall so readily, much less give up on all that he holds dear. Isn't that so?
A deliverer, you say?
Yes. I have faith in him.
That reminds me. Why are you making this trip alone, Polixia?
Oh, my sister needs more time to make sure the flowers are fine.
Such a pity. Both of you have hearts kinder than anyone else. Yet you are born only to take over Thanatos' divinity.
Everything that I see and hear this time has left me shaken to the core. What may seem like a mundane conversation is in truth a once-in-a-lifetime exchange that has revealed the ultimate answer to Cersei's question.
What exactly are we?
The conjecture has taken shape and must now be solidified into a theorem. Next, I only need to seek verification from Kefali. By doing so, I can answer Cersei's question and reclaim my body. But no, I will not do that. That isn't important. Because another one of my conjectures, one that I have always dreamed of proving, has been proved right this very instant. Fusing a mortal soul with that of a Titan to replace said Titan is not a ludicrous idea after all.
Pushing to Don Hung.
What are you thinking about?
See, I feel like between POV shifts, they should ask you, like, before you switch POVs, do you want to stop? I'm just amazed at how this towering tree is Cersei's divine body. It's a majestic sight.
Is that so? You don't look the slightest bit amazed, though. Plus, you seem to be strangely familiar with the city around the Great Tree.
Merely something from the past that I won't go into.
Events of the past, huh? I was also a child when I looked up at Cersei's. Their leaves and branches reflected the sparkling stars. And their trunk was like a pillar that supported the sky and ground. I stood at this very spot back then, imagining the day when I could climb to the top of this tree. Because I would be the closest I can be to the sky at that spot.
You're a sky priest, yet you study at a place that is home to the Reason Titan. That's rather counterintuitive.
Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to reach Aquila's realm? They're a strict and draconian god. Nothing like Cersei's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what I'm saying, right, Denny? After all, the Titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphoreans is none other than Aquila themselves.
Yes, I didn't count on provoking the ire of a local god.
But there will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. The Grove has a wealth of research on Aquila, and that is exactly what we are here for. It's just... I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there by his side.
Bad luck tends to come in streaks, so don't beat yourself up over it. Besides, Aglaya needs you here to uncover the truth behind what happened to the Grove. Let's just make the most of this trip. and keep a lookout for any documents related to the Death Titan. They could be useful to that guy.
Yeah, there's no rest for the weary, huh? In any case, what we're looking for could be anywhere in this enormous grove. Let's split up to cover more ground. Danny, with your skills, I'm sure those monsters born of the Black Tide will pose no threat to you anyway.
What about you? Well, you'll be alright on your own.
Have you forgotten that you're talking to the chief physician of the Twilight Courtyard? Have more faith in me. I'll be just fine.
The silence here is deafening. With the vast amount of knowledge it holds, this academy is akin to a labyrinth of information. Even the cleverest of scholars would easily lose their way in here. I should gather my thoughts before heading in. How to leave Amphoreans. In the myths, Aquila the Titan, who reigns over the domain of the skies, is a colossal bird that overlooks the world beneath them with 100 eyes. As long as they continue to soar above the clouds, the people of Amphoreans will remain trapped on the ground. Hyacine's forebearers were priests who worshipped Aquila. Nobody is more familiar with the taboos of the Sky Titan than her. Seeing how Aglaia has sent her here as a guide, it's possible that she plans to have Hyacine take on the trial in the future. Titan mythology. In Amphoreans, Titans are a common topic of discussion. People create myths that, in turn, conceive Titans. It's a tricky task to keep the objective view when among the people of Amphoreans. Is there a way to step out of the situation and look at it from a different perspective? Titans and Eons. Titans and Eons are two distinct classes of beings. The Titans can communicate with us humans, and it is not impossible for us to overpower them. Upon their demise, we can even take over their divinity. In this regard, Titans can be said to be a lot more similar to humans than Eons are. The Chrysos Heirs. Chrysos Heirs are humans who possess heroic qualities, with most of them demonstrating extraordinary combat prowess and strength. Upon clearing a core flame trial, a Chrysos Heir can even ascend to a demigod and inherit a Titan's divinity. Wait, something about that feels off. Is this a selection process of some sort? Well, perhaps it looks that way, but it seems like rather... That's the thing. It seems like rather it's not a selection process, but the people are just kind of reincarnated in a sense. Although Nias doesn't really look like Mighty, and Calypso obviously doesn't look like Anaxagoras. But man, they sure made Polyxa look like Castoris for some reason. And I guess, obviously, we took over Ornyx, so I guess, you know, obviously we're not here, so you don't have to be the same person. So maybe it's not true cyclical in the sense that, like, it's always the same people in a sense. It's just the world ends, or people take over the Titans and become the new Titans. The Prophecy. Guided by the Prophecy, the heroes are on a quest to reclaim core flames and usher in the Era Nova. Their efforts have been gratifying results to date. As I expected, the Prophecy is the hardest to make any sense of, but with barely any information to go on. No matter how much I ruminate on it, it won't yield any results. I should leave this for another time. I should probably return my attention elsewhere. My friend's dead. Nobody could have ever imagined that this guy's life would be forfeited the moment we landed on Amphoreans. I should have done more to keep him safe, but it's not too late. We still have a fighting chance. The unique rules that govern life and death on Amphoreans might just work in our favor and save him. The Grove is a veritable library of knowledge. Maybe they'll have records of it on a similar case. Please let there be one. That's enough for now. The clock is ticking. I should search for clues as I move. The night sky feels unusual, now that I've gotten used to the eternal light of Akama. And that's where we'll stop. That's a good stopping point. POV shift. Still think they should like ask you if you want to continue POV shifts. Or you actually do. But did not expect us to be dead. That's interesting. I'm also just like, so we took Ornyx. It did happen, as it was bound to, no matter how much. It probably should. Which is weird because again, that one trailer from last update like showed a crisis air of time. So unless they're just gonna show up and demand we give it to them or something later on. I suppose that's always possible. Oh, you know, I did want to check the vortex of in Genesis to see if the Kefli thing did say he was the Skyfather, because now I feel like maybe that was a thing. Or maybe it was a book that mentioned the Skyfather. I don't know. They're mentioning the Skyfather now, even outside of just the Titan themselves, which feels weird. It does not say anything about Skyfather. So maybe it was a book. I don't know. I will have to look through the books for that one thing I wanted to talk about. But we'll do that. I'll hopefully find it for tomorrow. We'll be back with this. But for now, thank you all for watching, and until we meet again, may the sands of time treat you well. Ta-ta.